Sorry, I almost threw up a little bit, but it's fine.
I just realized I was doing the Trump hands. Lots of people are saying it's the greatest line.
Museums are pointless.
She just had to give a handy to a polar bear who was laying on the ground. You think you could cuck her? You can't even cuck her. Hold on, I'm on a roll. The end of it is like, oh, let's see what team had the least amount of players left. The one that started with one person each, TJ. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the number one, the Right Reality Podcast. I am Steve.
And I am hungover. I am Mixie. I'm so sorry for the state of which I am in right now. But I'm here with Steven, ready to recap episode 8 of season 40 of the challenge, The Era of the Gladiator. Boo. The names get worse. The names get worse where my mental state gets worse. Everything is on a downturn.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is up early on a Sunday, hungover as shit, to record for you, and look how she got through that intro. Just an absolute professional. She's shooting you through the screen. You know, she's got it all figured out. What do you got? A little iced coffee to get you through this?
I have so many liquids. I have a coffee, I have a water, and I definitely do not have anything else that I would be doing to fix my current situation.
Vape Watch 2024. We can't go to the source because you're literally reporting on yourself on Vape Watch. You know
what? I don't know if people understand.
No, just do it. Do it right now. Just go ahead. Go ahead for all people watching on YouTube. Here we go. Everybody, oh, look at this. She's just gonna blow it right in the fucking camera. Oh, content.
I'm not proud of it. Don't do it. I'm gonna quit. I can quit whenever I want. Okay.
Whenever she
Today
wants.
is not the day, though.
You think she can't quit whenever she wants? She
You're
can.
wrong.
And
I've done it
don't
before,
try
and
to
I'll
push
do it
her
again.
into it in the comments. Don't comment and be like, you should stop now, because she's the one who makes that decision, because she's an independent woman.
I really was like, okay, I'm not gonna say that I'm insanely hungover. I'm gonna get myself together. I told Steven, I was like, should I put more makeup on? Because I couldn't stand long enough to do it.
That was the most concerning thing.
That's when I was like, I don't think I can hide this.
I couldn't stand long enough to put the makeup on. I was like, oh my God, lie down somewhere.
I can't, because I'm here and we have to recap episode 8. Although it was a meh. I would actually give it a meh, because I feel like last time I gave it a meh. This is like meh. You know?
I thought maybe you would have gone meh minus, but I like what you did more.
The heavy side.
Meh. And more upset in the meh as well, right? It sounded like.
Yeah, there were little nuggets of gold, as we always get, and we will discuss them. There was one specifically that I think I could talk about for the entire episode. But there are little nuggets here and there. I felt like the elimination was interesting to watch. At some points, just sad. Sorry, I almost threw up a little bit, but it's fine.
Jesus Christ. I saw that happen.
I'm sweating. It's just... Go ahead, Steven. You take it from here.
This might be a roller coaster, boys and girls. Coming up in this week's episode, the number one breaks through with a W. We will get to that in just a moment. I now have a new favorite number. You'll understand why. It is a visual cue. Get ready to go to YouTube. And finally, misinformation has come for the challenge. And we will challenge the misinformation being additional misinformation, because we don't stand for that here at the number one, okay?
Absolutely not.
How dare you try to feed us misinformation and not think that the number one is not going to journalism the shit out of you, okay? Come on.
Not us. Couldn't be us.
Couldn't be us, sober or not sober.
I'm sober. That's the problem. Anyways.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that everybody's ready to listen to this. How many episodes have we been trying to guess the numbers of the episodes right? 4 or 5 now at this point. I'm looking
4 or
for
5.
our official record, which I think I have lost.
Really good stuff. Really good
Oh my God, where's our official record? I don't know. I honestly don't know if I got it right last time, because what did you say last time? Did you write it down? Where's our official record?
Someone wrote it down for us on the Hotties. I can look.
Oh, thank God. Thank God somebody's doing the Lord's work out there. What I was afraid of, I should have, you said 18, I said 19. I needed to go one more because it's season 20. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Congratulations. Air horns everywhere. Alicia H090, congratulations. You are the winner of the very first Right Reality Challenge tote bag. Please DM us on Instagram, or if you're in the Hotties, please send us a message and let us know your shipping information. Let's do it on Instagram so nobody sees your information. Let's do that. So send us a DM with your shipping information. We'll get that out to you. I also think there was somebody else who said season 20 because they were talking about the riot shields.
I've seen Cutthroat a few times. I just can't remember like when I saw it.
There was somebody, I think Peter did it, but it was for last week. Peter, sorry, you should have gone on it this week.
Right there.
But you weren't there. You weren't there. While I mentioned that, we are usually recording on Sunday morning. So if you're watching these on Monday, Sunday evening, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're not going to be eligible. So you need to listen
That's a good
early.
call. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whenever you can, put your comments in right away so you're eligible. Anything after that, sorry about it. You're not eligible for the win. So
I'm just glad we have a winner.
yeah, me too. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thought we were gonna
go
start doing
for 15,000 episodes.
Here's the thing. We haven't won yet, though.
Oh,
Like, the community has won, but not us.
Yeah, I don't feel confident. It's crazy how I don't feel confident.
Everything to do with how you feel right now, or?
Not anything to do with any of that. Yeah. I'm going to go with 27.
I'm going to go 7. 27 and 7. I'm going to create a new official record because I don't know where our old official record went. Mixie said 27, and I said 7. Okay. All right, the new official record is here. Also, please, again, create that. Whoever created that, let me see who it was. Carmen, creating an official record.
Carmen!
Trying to make up for something you did this week. I know what you did.
She didn't do anything. I stopped it. Okay, listen, Carmen, I appreciate you so much. You were in my heart always. Have I been asking you guys to spoil me on this season? Allegedly.
Allegedly? Roll the tape.
Allegedly, there's...
Roll the 10-minute tape. Roll it back.
There's been some murmurs that I've been requesting it when we've been putting our cup on. I don't really know what that is about, to be honest with you. But, Carmen, I appreciate you reaching out. Steven, unfortunately, was there when you did, so I was told I wasn't allowed to get an answer. So I'm still unspoiled. So maybe, guys, if you're going to send me the spoilers, maybe do it after like 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Don't do it at all. Don't do it at all. Don't do it at all. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Mixie.
I'm not, I just want you to know that there's been 2 separate times since I said no to her that I've opened our messages and been like, I could get it right now. I could get it right this second if I wanted to.
No.
But
guys, everybody, stop.
Thanks, Carmen.
Stop. Carmen, be careful. Be careful.
You picked the right side.
Careful. Okay? Thank God. Thank God. All right, let's get into this week's episode. I do have to say, if you were the other person who mentioned season 20, because I do remember seeing something about I'm picking it because of the riot shield. I cannot find your thing. I can't find it. I do kind of remember seeing something like that. Mm-hmm. Screenshot it, DM it to us. Me and Mixie will meet.
We'll meet in the chamber.
chamber.
the
Yeah,
chamber.
that useless place.
We'll move the sand hour thing, and we'll have
God.
a discussion.
God. And then we'll have a fake team meeting after that
Yes,
to come up with a
of course.
strategy. Yeah,
Of
that's
course.
that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's get into this week's episode.
Yes, I want to get into it because I honestly thought, Steven, I thought they sent us episode 6 again. Because
really?
it started the exact same way that episode 6 started, with Jenny bitching about being picked and Greaseback Bun Babe talking about how Jenny doesn't talk to people and that's why she's at the bottom. You don't talk to people, Greaseback Bun Babe.
Greaseback Bun Babe.
You don't do anything.
Greaseback Bun Babe. Greaseback Bun Babe. Have you looked in a mirror, Greaseback Bun Babe? You know what the funniest thing is? Greaseback Bun Babe's camera time is so low that the only time they've put her on is to talk about stuff that she does and why she's not interesting. She's blaming Jenny for all the stuff that she doesn't do to be on television.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know what? That's probably what Babe loves about Babe.
Ugh, Babe loves Babe. Babe and Babe
Babe
are just
loves
so in
Babe.
love.
They're just doing Babe things. One of them is just so outspoken. And then the other one barely is spoken.
I would safe bet that this is the most we've seen of Casey this season, was this episode. And it still was nothing. It still gave absolutely nothing. I actually don't think I can give you a singular direct quote that she said, because it just whoop, whoop, whoop.
Honestly, anytime Greaseback Bun Babe is on camera, I assume I'm imagining it, because it definitely could not have been a choice to put her in the episode, because they never do that.
Yeah, I mean, well, even the people in the house don't even consider Greaseback Bun Babe as a person, because everybody got mad at Josh. But again, Greaseback Bun Babe did the exact same thing. No one's talking to her. We'll get there.
No one talked to her. Okay. My new favorite number is 437.
Okay.
My old favorite number is 42. The reason why it's 437 is because at 4 minutes and 37 seconds into this episode, there's a video clip played that you're seeing on YouTube of Avery in the pool looking like an absolute Michelin star meal. She's not a snack. She's a Michelin star meal. And I think we need to have another conversation, at least I do, in the laboratory with facts and figures and Bunsen burners, if Dua Lipa is still the hottest woman on the planet. Because that was an incredible moment of television. And that brings us to this week in Applauding for Adam.
Adam. He's undefeated, man. He really is.
Not even on the season.
Not on the season, continuing to take W's. Continuing. And my girl is in the fucking daily like, don't fuck up the moneymaker.
She knows it. She called it out.
She gets it.
She gets it.
And then she's just getting beat the fuck up in the arena, too. Just taking it to the fucking face.
Every time. I'm like, is she going to say stop? Like, is somebody going to stop? All I was thinking of is the scene from The Simpsons where he goes, stop, he's already dead.
Stop! He's already dead.
That's all I was thinking of. Because they're just showing her. I'm like, is she going to cry? What's going on here? I feel so bad for her. But during that daily where she was saying that, I was also like, hey, Olivia, Michele.
Yeah.
Jump in the water, girls. Like, just go ahead. Olivia you got this broken once with the golf ball. Let's get in the water, ladies. Let's be careful here. There are bigger things in the world other than this daily that.
We'll get there. We're gonna get there. I already knew that you were gonna be on the same page with me on that daily, but we'll get there. 437
might be the first tattoo I ever get. 437. Just absolutely amazing. It should be screenshots should be hung in the Louvre because that's what you say now.
The what? Hold on.
You've never heard that expression?
The loo? Like the bathroom?
The Louvre.
Are you saying Louvre?
Yeah. Not Lou, the Louvre.
I'm
The
out.
art
I don't.
museum in Paris.
You're referring to? Oh my god. No, I don't know museums. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get a Mixie rant on museums. Museums are pointless. Okay, I like museums that are like pretty, like the actual building and like there's gardens and stuff. Sure, museums are pointless. Google it. I went to the villa. My parents, God love them, visited me this weekend. And we went to the Getty Villa. And the amount of people that were just taking photos of like the displays of, I don't know, like Egyptian coins and shit. Google it. You're taking a photo that's going to have weird reflection because of the glass that's on it. Like, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever understand museums. You can get a higher res. I just...
It's not about getting the photo. It's about seeing something in person.
No, why? Who gives a shit? What is that? What is the difference between seeing it in person and being in the comfort of your home with no pants on, looking at it on your computer?
Lots of things.
No, there's honestly, yeah, you're right. Lots of things. The home one's better.
Be like, oh, what's the difference between watching porn and actually having sex? Big difference.
Those are two different things. You're not making the coins. You're not holding the coins. You're looking at them. You're looking at them in two different places.
Looking at a naked woman in person versus looking at one online. Or a naked man.
Okay, if you're just looking, if they're just standing there and you're not fucking them, again, I don't see a difference. In fact, if they're in your home naked, you probably had to spend money on dinner. You probably had to get them decently drunk.
Whoa,
More work.
Whoa. I did none of the sort. Although,
I'm just saying.
It does track. Yeah. Did not expect a museum rant coming. Mixie is just out on museums.
I hate museums. Wow. I'll go. But it's just like, and then you like, okay, you walk into the room, you see all the statues. Cool, let's go to the next room. But no, you have to like slowly go through it. And then there's like plaques that you're supposed to read. Well, I don't want to fucking read. No. And everyone's standing at the plaque, so you can't even see what you're seeing. And then you read it, and something doesn't make sense, so you're staring. I just... Watch a documentary.
I want to just go back to the fact that you didn't know what the Louvre was, where the Mona Lisa is. Do you know the Mona Lisa, at least?
I do know who Mona Lisa is. She seems like a pretty chill hottie. But I would never, like, need to see it in person. Also, haven't people like thrown paint and shit on it, so it's not even the real one anymore?
Well, it's covered up. It's behind bulletproof glass, so.
Again, it's okay. It's behind bulletproof glass. You're getting weird glares. Look at it online.
No, it's not. It's moving on. Ryan is moving rooms.
Yay! Good for him. Bananas has to be an asshole about it, of course.
Why wouldn't he, though? Why wouldn't he? Of course he was. I actually liked it. I actually liked that he was like, oh, you moving out on us? You're not going to give us like 30 days notice? You're just going to pick up and move? Like he knows exactly what he's doing. And you know what? At the end of this week's episode, it 1,000% paid off. It 1,000% paid off. Bananas did exactly what he said. And that was my note, is he knew what he was doing and he accomplished his mission. And Ryan ate right out of his fucking hand. Right out of his hand.
He did. And I can't get... I want to be upset with Ryan, but like I said last episode when we discussed this, it would have worked on me too. I get it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It was so fucking good. He's like, I don't want to hear Laurel's Wicked Witch of the West laugh. And I'm like, Ryan, like, it's not close to that. They put a sound effect on it, and it still wasn't the Wicked Witch of the West.
I think it's just the vibe that Laurel gives. I'm loving the lack of Laurel. I needed a Laurel Cara break. I'm glad we took that these last like 2 episodes. It's been needed.
Another thing we learned here is that Laurel was saying that Ryan started to side with Nicole, but he blames Laurel for Nicole texting him so much. And I am confused by that because it sounds like you were blaming how, like, you upset her to the point where she's texting me nonstop. which I think some people would be like, yeah, if you're complaining about it, you're probably not going to be friendly with that person. But now they're like, oh yeah, but now I'm taking the side of it. It seems like two things, but again, like there might be there's lots of nuance to these things. But I just thought it was funny that Laurel was like, he blames me for her texting him so much, but he took the side of the person, that.
Yeah, I'm sure that what happened was Ryan went off on Laurel at some point in time about a lot of things. And one of those lot of things was that Nicole was texting Ryan a lot. And that's the only thing that Laurel clocked.
Remembered.
And it's just like, that's why he hates me. And I guarantee that if he sat there when she said that, he would have been like, no, that's not it. I can't imagine that be, well, I mean, Ryan has talked about it too. Like that's just not the case, but whatever helps her sleep at night. The funny thing about this part, Bananas, Ryan says that he doesn't want to hear Bananas talk about himself anymore. And the challenge, as they do in a beautiful way sometimes, gives us a little montage of Bananas talking about how great he is.
Great.
And it was
fantastic.
Delicious. Banana says at one point, and I'm sure you all clocked this too, Banana says that he has the greatest challenge podcast out there. He says that, and then he says, it's actually, and then they cut that clip and started like speeding up whatever he was saying. I would like to think that Bananas was about to say it's actually the second best podcast for the challenge because the reality exists.
The number one. The number one exists, and he is so aware of that. And I made him aware of that at the event. And I said, quit ducking us because we're the number one. He's
always known, Steven. He's always known.
And that's why he's ducking, because he wants to believe that he has the best challenge podcast out there. But let's say there's an alternate universe that we live in where that's not what he said. And again, it's 100% what he said. And that's why they cut it out, because they couldn't clear our name. We wouldn't give him the rights to do that. As a matter of fact, even if they did reach out, I'd be like, no, thank you.
Oh, okay. Don't reach out to Steven. You can reach out to me. If you put a dollar amount on it, we can have a conversation.
That's what I was going to say, because they would have just been asking for it, and I would have been like, no, what's in it for us financially?
I need a whole $5.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we need, We're not begging for money out here on the street. So that happened. But more importantly, let's go back to this alternate universe that he didn't say that.
Yep.
The fact that they put that in there and dogged the official one for like the second time this season, hilarious.
I love it.
Hilarious. Hilarious. They didn't, at first they just said, oh, I have a podcast. They could have cut it there.
Easily.
No,
I thought this.
They allowed it to be, it's the best challenge podcast out there. Talks about how great it is. And I'm like, ooh, people over at Burnham and Murray hate the official podcast. They hate it. They hate it so much. And the only reason that the official people were there at the beginning of the year is because MTV is the one with the deal with iHeart. And Burnham and Murray are like, middle fingers. Middle fingers. We're going to sabotage your official podcast at every opportunity. We're going to cut the women out. We're going to have them ask horrific questions. We're going to put them in episode 0.
Hold on. I don't think the horrific questions is on them. I think it's on the actual people that ask the questions. I honestly think that's probably what they brought to the table, and that was the best option.
Okay. It's just so funny to me. Like, I paused it and looked around and I was like, damn it, nobody else is here to laugh with me about this.
God damn it, it was so funny. And I thought the exact same thing. That was the next point I was going to make was how much do they hate that podcast that they are putting this in? And like you said, I also went back. As soon as he said it, I started the clip over because I was like, they could have he had like a breath. It wasn't even a hard edit. They could have easily stopped him there, and they did it.
I'll recreate it in case you guys like glossed over it. I think he said something like, oh, I have this great podcast about the challenge, and it's the greatest one. I think that's what it
That's
is.
That's not even an exaggeration.
No, that's about how long it was. You know, you could drove a truck through that gap.
It was
fantastic.
As upset I am that they didn't let him finish his statement about giving us the crown. It still was amazing that they kept that in.
Honestly, I think it's better. I think it's better because if it would have said the number one, which is obviously, again, we live in this real universe, not the alternate universe where he didn't say it. People would have been so distracted by the fact that they're like, what's this new podcast? Honestly, it would have probably crashed our servers, which get crashed all the time because, you know, there's just so much traffic coming on Wednesdays when we post these that they would have, it just would have caused more issues and people would have forgot about the fact that he absolutely dogged the official podcast and Butterman Murray and the edit department, shout out, because they obviously listen to number one, are like, let's sabo them so hard yet again. And it's great.
It was
I can't get enough of it. I want it. I want that clip every week. Figure out a way of doing it. I just realized I was doing the Trump hands. I just realized I just did this. It's like, I love it so much. It's the greatest line ever in history. Lots of people are saying it's the greatest line.
Beautiful.
I just did the hands. I literally did this and was like, oh my God, I did the hands.
It's ingrained in you. You've seen
Some
it so
people are
much.
saying, everybody's talking about how it's the greatest line.
Speaking of beautiful things, I want to move on to what the fuck was Michele doing in the gym?
Michele has been seen eating ramen drunk behind a fight going on. Michelle's been seen drinking water while there's a fight being going on. And now for the three-peat, she's thought, how can I top it again to make sure I get in? What's my three-peat going to be? And she realized she just had to give a handy to a polar bear who was laying on the ground. That was the only way she was going to get back in, and I'm fucking dead. I love every second of it. And the fact that they kept Aviv in being like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Very sexual.
That's the funniest part is I paused it because Devin and Aviv were having a conversation, right? And they just I keep getting little clips of Michele in the background. So I paused it and I was like, what the fuck is Michele doing? This like weird sex squat that does not look like it is the correct form at all. Like, I feel like that's terrible for your lower back, but I don't know. And then I write that down, I hit play, and immediately the next thing is Devin being like, what the fuck are you doing?
We both lived out the same life because I did the exact same thing. I paused and I was like, are we not? I started writing three-peat for Michele, three-peat background for Michele. Are we not going to mention that she's jerking off animals in the background? Unpause. Devin, what are you doing? This is the thing Tori told me to do. Tori's trying to sabo you. Be very careful. She's trying to make you pull a muscle while you jerk off. And Aviv's like, looks very sexual. And she's like, okay, I'll stop.
I think Bananas had the wrong one when warning Michele. I think he should have warned Michele about Tori and not about Devin. But God, that was just so good.
Those little moments, that didn't need to be in there, but it was. And they're trying. They tried this episode, and they still got a meh out of it.
The first part of this episode, other than those things that we just discussed, it was very much just like a bunch of bullshit filler.
Yeah.
Until we got to the daily. Daily setup was dope. They really got that movie money for it. The fire, TJ looked sick, just standing in the middle, just so dope. I liked the way that it looked when they walked in. And then everything after that, I was just like, come on.
The potential was there. The potential was so there.
We're going to the daily. We have to definitely not cuck off.
We didn't captain up. Captaining up.
It's everyone's favorite time of the show where we put cuck bands on.
They're not cuck bands, though. They're captain bands. Don't you dare think they're cuck bands, because we would never be cucked. We talked about it last week. You think you could cuck her. You can't even cuck her. You guys didn't realize you were getting a musical episode this week, did you either? Just like all the people going to Joker 2. You didn't realize you were going to the worst movie of the year, did you?
What a great time for us to discuss the fact that we need to stop making movies into musicals. Please, God, please stop it.
Are all you guys glad you paid $18 to go see that horrible excuse for a movie? Aren't you so glad? You're like, what is the latest? No. How dare you think I would go pay to see that?
Well, I don't know.
I knew what was coming. I knew that it was going to be absolutely horrific. I haven't seen one person talk about how great of a movie it was. Every person, even the people who are the most positive movie reviewers out there, will be like, nothing with this movie made sense. What were we doing?
How did we fumble it? The first one was so good.
I think the problem, that's a bigger discussion.
If it
the
ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think what they were saying was, I guess the director was trying to be like, no, this guy's broken and you guys are trying to make him a hero. So I'm showing you a movie about how bad it would be if we make these guys heroes all the time. And then he just made a bad movie because he was trying to prove his point.
I love being petty. I love petty. If that's what it is, then I'm in on it.
It was bad. Apparently not as bad as Megalopolis, which might be one of the worst films of all time, considering the people in that movie. You haven't. I was about to say Mixie has not heard of Megalopolis.
I don't understand how I live like this. Like, how am I constantly being brought?
I do.
How do I not know things? I know things. I'm smart. I have it together. I know that, like, legitimately right now, there's nothing that'll back that.
I was about to say, might not be a good time to mention that on this week's episode. I'm hungover. I don't know what the Louvre is. I don't even like museums. I've never heard of the Louvre, the most famous museum in the world. You're like, don't know what it is. What are you talking about? You talking about the loo, like a British bathroom, hang it in the bathroom? No. She's sweating. She's falling apart. But she's here for you, everybody.
I'm smoking on camera. Guys, don't smoke, okay?
As TJ said, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained by the number one? We're captained up. We're going to the daily, which should have been happening a few weeks ago. But no, let's blow this daily when the teams are not even remotely close to even. Not that that would have anything to do with how unfair of an advantage it would be, everyone.
Let's start at the
end. Hold on, I'm on a roll. The end of it is like, oh, let's see what team had the least amount of players left. The one that started with one person each, TJ?
I can't believe it.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean? This is how we figured it out. How is this? Explain it to me how that wasn't the rule.
Again, they just were not expecting Era 1 to fall this quickly, I think. Really screwed them over. Plus, they had this ad. Like, it's not like they could have...
We called it last week. Exactly. We called it last week. We said, what's going to happen if they have a daily? They're like, well, we can't fuck this one up. There's already been an ad spend on it. No free promo. So it's not blank 2.
Yes.
How about Sadiator?
We're on the same page here, Steven. I was thinking Badiator.
Ooh, should we let everybody vote?
Yes. Let us know how you would like us to refer to it. I'm sure we'll bounce between them as we go through this episode, but let us know which one's better.
Sadiator or Badiator, because, again, no free promo. We're not getting invited to the world premiere. Where's our collab deal? Sadiator social media team?
Well, that's what I wrote down as soon as they brought up that it was an ad. I said, will they all get invited to the premiere? I can't wait for the Getty images of that. Then Avery at one point was like, Badiator is all about working as a team. And I just wrote down, no chance Avery's seen this movie.
Should I ask her that? Should that be a question I put on my question list? Okay.
Yes, if we get a chance to interview Avery, I want honesty from her too. I actually don't think I've seen it.
You haven't seen Gladiator?
I haven't seen Badiator.
Full disclosure, I've seen bits of it. I've seen clips, obviously. I'm not sitting down and watching the full movie because, again, I'm not a fan of things where I know there's going to be some gory moments of people getting killed in some probably not nice ways or eaten by tigers and lions. I'm not signing up for that. That's not my speed. I don't want to see that. So
I'm sure it's exactly the same thing that I've always complained about with movies like this, where there's like one guy fighting like 30 of them and somehow magically the one guy wins.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's fighting off lions and shit like that. Yeah. So amazing.
Of course.
Let's get to this Badiator / Sadiator daily, where the setup was so good. We're going to have these riot shields. You're going to push people into this watery substance on the side. The men are going to go first. We're going to kill each other. This is going to be great. And then, wow. The guys kind of tried, but I don't know if that was just the edit of it making it look like they tried, because how many men did we actually lose? Like 3?
I don't know. I know Ryan went in. Bananas went in first, which was hilarious. I know Derek went in. I know Ryan went in. I feel like somebody else did too, but I don't really know. The poor graphics team. This is now I understand why we've been losing out on graphics. They were working overtime with their pin drops.
And honestly, it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough.
It wasn't
I
enough.
was so lost.
Yes.
I had no clue. If they didn't have the names on the helmets, I would have been like, those are just hired actors that they had do this, because I don't know what's going on. And I was at such a loss to try to follow any of the action. The graphic tried to help, but then in my head, I'm like, aren't Era 1 and Era 4 working together, and 2 and 3? So I'm like watching it, trying to do the math at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I think I know who won. And then I was wrong.
Again, we've talked about this with dailies, and I honestly feel like some eliminations too. If you're physically there, like I feel like visually it was very exciting and fun to watch. This type of thing does not translate well onto a TV show. We're getting aerial shots that really aren't showing us anything. The cameramen can't be on the platform, so they're far away. It just was very difficult to follow and wasn't as like exciting as they were trying to make it seem in the edit. You know, like the slow-mo like blows that we were getting. Sure, they were kind of good, but like there was just so much going on. There's all these other, you know, like shields and bodies, and it was very difficult to follow. I wish that they had done something different. Maybe just given them boxing gloves instead of the shields. The shields were just so big, and I just didn't like it. Also, like maybe the shields had their name on it. I don't know. It just, it was hard to follow, and it kind of took me out. So I kind of just cared more about the comments that were happening outside of the situation. However, I do want to flag something because I was annoyed. Theo got, quote, disqualified because he was on the ground too long. 1, that was never stated. 2, Jordan was on the ground for a long ass time. And I know that because people were like, who's on the ground still? So if Theo got kicked, I don't understand why Jordan didn't get kicked.
The only thing I can think of is that TJ multiple times asked him to get up, and he wasn't making an effort to get up. He was just kind of holding in that position because the clock allegedly was counting down at that time. And so they're like, you need to get up. You need to get up. We're going to tell you one more time that you need to get up or we're going to DQ you. And he didn't do it. So they're like, you're out. Well, Jordan, they were like, you need to get up. You need to get up. And he was like trying to make an effort. Theo looked like he was just trying to hold ground there at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only thing I can think of at this point. But you're right about
fair.
how it doesn't translate to the screen, because fundamentally, this is what we want to see.
Yes.
The problem was there was just way too many people at one time. And
too many motherfucking people.
If the teams were even, it would have been better. And I'm really nervous to see what our dailies look like for the rest of the season if we thought this was an okay daily still to do and not try to figure out, hey, we're going to just put you guys on other teams or something like that at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt that I'm sure Badiator 2 had their hands in what this was and what it needed to look like and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Also, Devin and I just need to sit down for hours and have a conversation because, guys, what are the odds that Devin brings up a past life that he lived?
I previously had a life in the Roman army.
I brought it up 2 episodes ago, honestly, very, very loosely connected to what we were discussing. It has become a thing in the hotties and in our comment section, which, again, I love. Please tell me about your past lives. Devin saying he had a past life in the Roman army, I screamed.
As you should.
Because of course he did. And I believe him. Again, you know how I said you were like, oh, people are going to tell you about their past lives and they're just going to make shit up. I believe him. And I want to have an in-depth conversation with him about it.
So when me and you go visit Michele and Devin, we hang
Yes.
out in New York together and become best friends. You could discuss that, and me and Michele will discuss other things. You guys will have your side, and then me and Michele can discuss we'll discuss Taylor Swift stuff being her, and then you guys can do your thing in the corner about your past lives.
Devin, I cannot wait to hear about all of it. I want to know how you died. I feel like you died in battle. I don't know if you're aware or not, but like went out Blades of Glory style, like what would actually happen in situations like this. It was like 1 against 20 and you're like, I'm going to die. I'm just going to try to take as many people down with me. That's how I envision it for you. I'm curious if that's the case. But God damn it, did I love it so much that he just brought it up and he just dropped it and then they just like kept going and I was like, past life.
And again, people think we're joking when we say number one doing number one things, and of course we're influencing and they're listening. Why else would that have been put in, boys and girls, if it was not a nod to the number one?
It made my heart so happy.
We're throwing so much real information at you, real facts and figures in journalism that eventually you're going to buy in. Mm-hmm. Like, what else do we need to do? Mm-hmm. Just to prove how great we are. And that Bananas definitely continued to say, sorry, actually, we're the number two because the number one is the number one.
Exactly.
I don't know what else we got to do. I guess, again, I'm a little disappointed at Devin because I thought maybe, now I just realized I guess I'm the only person out here who didn't have a second, third, fourth, fifth life at this point.
That's not true. People have said that they don't think that they've had past ones.
Well, that makes me feel better. Okay. I feel good about that. Corey clearly targeting Theo's head feels like that probably wasn't allowed in the rules at any point in time. Should have been taken off the field, college football style. 15 yards for targeting, and you're out of the game. You missed next week's daily as well. Josh got Ryan really good, and I was like, all right, Josh, good for you. Ryan trying to get back up, and he got hit again. I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Josh actually trying.
But Josh is going for the weakest person on the fucking platform. Let's be honest, okay?
He lost himself in this the same way. God, what season was that? I can't remember. There was a daily a couple of years ago that Josh was a part of, and I want to say it was like they tried to recreate the CT choo-choo train down the thing, and Josh got so into it, like he's yelling at Tori, and he's just, if memory serves me correct, he just got really, really into it in a way where it's kind of concerning that somebody could get keyed up and then they just live in that energy. I guess that's like what football players do. When the ladies started to go, he was literally screaming from the sides, kill each other. Kill each other. And not in like a funny way, like, kill each other. He was like, kill each other. Take her head off. I probably would have said the same thing, but I would have tried to do it in a little bit more comedic fashion, you know. Sorry,
guys, had to take a quick break there. Mixie needed to go handle something, but she's back in bed. Back to the daily.
You don't think we're not devoted to you guys? Look at what she's struggling through over there for you on a Sunday morning.
Honestly, it's my fault. I'm not even going to blame anybody else but me.
She knew what we were doing today.
I was fully aware. We planned this on Friday, so... Oops. Anyways, back to the daily. The women, honestly, I was bored. I was also pissed that they didn't go for Tori. Because I do...
What was this?
I'm still confused about the numbers of it all, but I do feel like if they had knocked Tori and Era 1 might not have lost, because at least Rachel was still on the... But I don't know how many guys of Era... What was it, 2 or 3? No, Era 3. How many of them were...
The problem is, I don't know.
Exactly.
Mr. TJ did not ADR enough audio at home in Las Vegas for me to know exactly what was going to happen here. Like, Era 1 had one guy and one girl. So if they would have stayed, but yet, let's say Era 3 lost one person, I mean, honestly, some of the Eras lost 3 people and somehow they did not lose.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm confused by all of this.
I'm not confused. There was only 2 people on one team. How are they supposed to not?
How are they supposed to win? Would they just have to like not go in the water?
Exactly.
I don't. Are we doing like percentages of the people you lost? Like what percent is one of 2 versus the other teams? Like we're doing it percentage based? Awful. Awful, awful. But this is what you get when Badiator gives you money and not us. I'm blaming this on Badiator and not on anything else. I do want to state, we talked about it earlier, Avery knowing that this is the moneymaker and being like, hey, let's be very careful. I'm screaming at Michele and Olivia to jump in as well. Mm-hmm. And then we get to Cara and Tori, and I'm like, oh, we're going to get this little like battle. And then we kind of did, but we didn't. I felt like none of the ladies wanted any of the smoke. And Jenny was like, I'm going to kill all of you if you come for me. And I'm like, give me Jenny and give me Rachel together. Give me that, please. Thank you. Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't have gone for Jenny either.
No. Did you see her legs? Jesus
I would have
Christ.
been all over Aviv. Aviv would have been my number one target.
I don't understand the logic of it. None of it made sense. They didn't seem like they wanted to do it. They didn't seem like they wanted to be in there. On the other hand, Corey was trying to hurt Derek. He's like, I let up and went easy on you. And he's like, what you didn't go easy on me. Are we in the same ballpark here? And then he threw his life jacket at him. Great move, by the way. Great move. Throwing a life jacket at somebody.
I love Derek. He's just through and through the challenge, man. He just gives it every episode. And I love it. I'm very sad to see him go. That one was the hardest one for me to swallow. But I swallowed it anyways because spitters are quitters.
We know that.
Yeah, I mean, the daily, again, it just was like... Then when they announced the winner, I was just like, is that the winner? I don't understand.
Is this a ruse? Was I not like figuring out who was winning the entire time? Because the graphic, just make me a different graphic. Show me like who was winning. Show me who was in first place. Like move them up and down. First place, second place, third place, fourth place. Was it a combined guys and girls? How many people left? And then we put the scores together? I don't know, because nobody was aware. One team could have lost 3 teams and they could be like, error 1. And I would have been like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. I don't know.
I agree with you.
I don't know. Fuck if we know at this point. How am I supposed to know?
I think between this and the elimination, there's going to be a lot of conspiracy theories and angry people on Twitter this week.
1,000,000,000%. And I'm just like, here we go again. Here we go again. This is... While this format has been great, we are causing problems for ourselves because of the format and because of what's happening. And you know what? That's not my problem. That's somebody else's problem to deal with, so I won't even do it. What I would like to do is uncaptain myself. Can we uncaptain ourselves now?
We can uncaptain ourselves and go to the chamber. Yay! All right, who's ready for the chamber? Who's ready for the chamber? Yeah.
Nobody's ever ready for the chamber. No one ever wants to be in the chamber. Don't ever put me in the chamber.
Okay, I'll handle it. Are you ready? This is my chamber talk. The chamber was pointless, and that's the end of the chamber.
Hey, chamber.
Undefeated chamber. Pointless, stupid, dumb. But what we got out after the chamber was great.
Great. The only thing I took from the chamber, Mixie, was it kind of seemed like Avery was hoping Derek would just be like, hey, she saved me once. I'm going to nominate me and Cara. And he didn't do that. So I guess the question is, should he have done that?
I guess it depends on how much he really cares about her. Also, that's taking Cara in as well. So it's a bit different. I would say... if that's like my best friend, truly, I would probably have done it. I also feel like specifically for Derek, the other Derek is her. So like if you're ever going to put yourself on the line, like once Derek's now out, this now other Derek, like when you look at all the other guys that he has potential to face, I feel like he had a better shot with one-legged Derek. So... we'll see. I mean, Avery's gone now, so it doesn't really matter. I would be a little annoyed if I was Avery, but also like if that's how she was thinking, then she should have had a conversation with him. Maybe they had one and we didn't see it. But from what we're seeing, which is the only thing we can comment on, again, just stating that for the record, There was no conversation, so she can't be that mad at him.
I want to be there too, but I want to live in a world where the idea of this was, I'll get you this time, you get me next time. And there was a perfect opportunity for him to be like, hey, like, Cara, do you understand that I do this? However, Cara's sitting there going, I don't want to go against Rachel.
Yeah.
Like, I think if it was somebody else, Cara might have been like, sure, like, but we're good. And now you actually owe me one for doing this for you.
Yep.
But Cara said going into that, like, I'm not politicking. I'm not doing any of that, which is obvious. Mm-hmm. So it's a bad spot. I understand where she could be like, hey, I want him to do anything, but it was a very different scenario. She was in a position of power of picking a team to be safe versus both teams being in and sacrificing herself, which she kind of did anyway.
Uh-huh.
But that is what it is. So they come out.
Yep.
And Theo and Jenny try to big brain us. But maybe they did big brain us. They had a fake meeting, which to me looked like a real meeting. I don't know, but looked like they were actually having a real meeting.
Yeah.
And they discussed it. And then there was a vote, which we didn't see a vote on. So I don't think I saw a vote. Maybe I blacked out.
We didn't see an actual vote, but everybody kind of condensed it in. Michele and Kylan were the only ones that were trying to protect Era 3. Everyone else wanted Era 3 in, which was interesting because of Greaseback Bun Babe and Josh. So then Corey is like, fuck Josh and Greaseback Bun Babe. And I was like, hell yeah, they're fake and do nothing, please. And then Devin talks to Michele, and Devin's starting to go, wait, why the fuck did Josh and Greaseback Bun Babe vote like that? And I'm just like, yes, let's go for them. Please. Next episode, oh, please. So waiting for that to be the case. Also pissed that Kylan took the target and Josh didn't. Fine. That happens. And then Corey and Josh finally get into it. And this is what I was saying previously. Actually, because I'm not fully here. I don't remember if we were recording or not when we were talking about this, but hilarious yet again that Greaseback Bun Babe slides under the radar. No one gets mad at Greaseback Bun Babe. Everyone's mad at Josh. And also, another point on this, they clearly are getting dressed up to go out for the evening. We see none of it.
We didn't see them go out.
Olivia in that red dress is completely wasted because I just saw none of it.
But yet I had to sit through some other awful bits where I could have seen a club night of Olivia being in a great fit. How dare you?
Yes, and I also could put money on the fact that Josh inevitably cried at some point during this. Didn't see that either. I feel like there's a Josh cry quota, and they're like, shit, we can't put this one in. That we're already maxing out.
Yeah, we have to pay him more. It's in his contract. The more times you show me crying, the more you have to pay me. I was very confused by this the first watch through on Corey being like, well, you didn't say it, but he's like, how could I? This is their decision. And then I'm like, okay, it was their decision, but was there actually a vote? And that's what I kept coming back to. Was there actually a vote, or did Theo and Jenny make up that they had a vote and say, hey, listen, it was 5-2. We voted, where I didn't see the vote. Because I'm going, well, because Theo said in his confession, he's like, hey, like, we're going to make this look like it was a group decision. We already voted, but we're going to make it look like it was a group decision. And then I'm like, okay, show me then that it was a group decision. Then you going, perfect, I can say it was 5-2. But I didn't see it. So I don't know if you're just lying through their teeth. And then all of a sudden, Devin's going to be like, hey, Michele, did you guys actually fucking vote? Or are they just saying numbers? Because it could be easily just like Theo could have ruined his fucking game right there by being like, it was 5-2. And Michele being like, we didn't vote. What are you talking about?
I feel like what happened was Theo and Jenny went to them and they were like, hey, we're thinking Era 3. What do you guys think? And I think that Michele and Kylan were the only ones that pushed back, and everyone else was just like, whatever you guys want to do. So Theo and Jenny took that as 2-5.
Because
But
Josh
was
didn't
there
make a
an
stand.
actual-
Greaseback Bun
Exact- they
Babe
didn't
probably
fight
was
for
asleep
them
the
at
whole
all.
time. Yeah.
So I think that's more along the lines of what happened. And Theo and Jenny were just like, we voted, although there wasn't like a sit down. Okay, Josh, do you want era 2 or era 3? I think it was more of like we're thinking era 3. What is everyone's thoughts? Michele and Kylan fought for it. The rest of them were like, whatever you want to do.
I don't see why the switch has occurred because you guys have been working together this whole time. And I guess maybe the thought is
Bananas. I think Bananas has Josh's balls in his mouth. Or I
Okay.
guess Josh would have Bananas balls in his mouth is a better way of going about it.
Yeah.
And I think that Casey is just unable to speak. I actually think that we need to like medically take her somewhere and see if she's mute now.
She just talks about Jenny. The only thing is
I didn't even, again, the clips we saw of their meeting,
Yeah.
not a word. And maybe she just didn't speak, and that's why they're like, well, she voted for what we were doing because she didn't say anything.
Yeah, but and as much as it's not great for television and we make fun of this, it's served her so well. And I don't know if this is what she was like on Big Brother, but it fucking works for her. And
does.
nobody else seems to be like, she's very good. Why are we keeping her around? You know, like we do this with all the other ladies, but like it never comes up in a conversation that like Casey is very good in eliminations and in physical stuff and probably great in every final she's going to be in. Maybe it's not good for her to be there. If you're like Michele and Olivia, you probably need to look and be like, hey, we're probably not beating her.
Yeah.
And we also have Laurel and Cara and Rachel. Like we got to do something at this point about this.
We are hitting a point where it needs to start happening. Yeah.
I want to go back to what Devin said before all this went down, where he's like, I think there's some misinformation going on here about people saying that there was deals made. He goes, Era 1 and Era 4 allegedly had a deal because they were under the assumption, I'm going to say that again, under the assumption that Derek and Avery had a deal. There was no assumption. No assumptions needed to be made.
Yeah, no, that was
I don't
clear.
need to assume anything. That was very clear. Why would there not? Avery literally went into an elimination for Derek. So yes, I don't think we have to assume shit, Devin. Let's not say this was misinformation. It happened. So what is Theo supposed to do? Not take a deal? Derek came to Theo.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Derek and Avery made a deal for their whole eras, but I do think that it's moronic to sit there and say that there's we don't know if there's alliances between them because clearly it's been shown through action that there is.
Because if one of them won, they would have saved the other one from going into elimination.
Exactly. And that was already a discussion that happened.
100%. The only way that goes south in their thing is that one of them loses and the other one gets put in to like deal with that. That's the only way that goes south. So I think it was a good move by Derek to be like, hey, listen, if either of these two teams win, it's us. Mm-hmm. So let's look out for us. And then it actually backfired on them because they only had 2 people. And apparently this is about how many people he had left. Why even have the daily? Just say, hey, Era 1's lost. Now we're just playing for everybody else. That would have been a better strategy, honestly. Just have 3 teams fight each other and be like, okay, you guys have 3 guys. You guys have 3 guys. You have 3 guys. Go. That's it. That's all we're doing here.
I agree with you. I also, I don't know what's gotten into me lately, but I would like to give a shout out to Kylan. Kylan is spitting lately. This guy is just hitting us with bar after bar after bar. Josh could have said something. At the end of the day, if there was a vote or not, Josh could have said something. And Kylan keeps bringing that up. And of course, Josh brings Kylan up in the argument, and Kylan immediately is like, heard my name, what's up?
I've just been waiting on the other side of the wall until you mentioned my name. I'm right here. The cameras are in this room, so I'm always on the other side, just waiting. Hey, Laurel got in a fight. You want me to talk about it? I'll talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
But he is right. Mm-hmm. Josh could have said something. Josh didn't want to say anything, and therefore it is what it is.
Exactly.
And
you got to just take it at that point.
Their mind was already made up. But and Corey's, I love how Corey was just like, what some people do sometimes is they're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, like, you can say what you want. Corey was like, I need you to fucking tell me, while continuing to yell back at him. I was just loving this back and forth.
It was great.
I want more of this. I need more of this. Corey was 100% right. They just didn't, both Casey and Josh didn't say shit.
Yeah,
to
and
help
then
Corey.
and then all of a sudden we cut and we're at the elimination.
Speaking about Devin and his family playing Monopoly during the holidays is something that me and you need to take part of, and it will happen. I don't want to say we're going to manifest it because I don't want to manifest, but
we can't.
If there are hot people out there that enjoy manifesting, please do it for me and Mix. Ready? We'll give you a moment. You're listening right now. We'll pause. There'll be like 7 seconds of silence while you manifest for us. So again, what we need you to manifest is you and I, Mixie and I, playing Monopoly with Devin's family during the holidays. Ready? Here comes 7 seconds. Ready? Go ahead and manifest. Thank you for manifesting. Appreciate that. Thank you for the engagement. All right, let's get to the elimination.
I burned some incense for you.
I saw it. I saw it right into the lens. Right into the lens.
Sorry, guys. I'll be better.
Why? Why now? It doesn't matter now.
Not today. To be clear, I will not be better today. Next time, prime.
Well, I mean, I feel like you've shown your hand with it now. Like you can like continue. What do you think people are going to be like? When she wants, she will quit. What sounds like
next week.
You'll quit tomorrow?
No, at some point next week before we record.
You still have a work week. Sorry, that's my bad. I forgot. I work with you. She can't. She will quit on weekends. It's not happening during the week, boys and girls.
Actually,
she only vapes Monday through Friday.
We'll see. Whatever. Let's go to the elimination.
Please.
Again, insane setup. Looked sick. How did you feel about this? I just couldn't shake the fact that the like targets that they had on them just looked exactly like garlic.
My note is, I guess this elimination is punching garlic off people's chest.
Badiator 2, everybody, in theaters.
Woo!
In November.
Just punching some garlic. That's what it is. We're trying to keep some vampires away.
I guess.
It's working. We love it. I will say at the beginning of this, Corey calling out Derek at the beginning, and Derek's like, hey, like, I just threw a life jacket at you, bro. Like, calm down. And Jordan's like, no, throw it at his face, D. Like, you got to be a man. If you're going to throw a life jacket at somebody, you got to throw it at their face, D. You know how this goes. And I'm like, I didn't know that was the rule. As another man, I didn't know that if I'm going to throw a life jacket at another man in anger because they're in my face being like, I took it easy on you when you didn't take it easy on me.
That's a rule.
That I could only throw my life jacket at you if you're facing me.
Well, now you know. Write that down. That is a rule.
Get the official record back out again. Got my pen. Official record. Throw a life jacket. Only at face, not at the back. Or Jordan will call you out and call you by the first letter of your name. Got it. Noted. It's on the official record now.
Watching Avery just get the shit beat out of her, as Cara said, I gotta agree, it was hard to watch. What was she doing? But I also feel like her teammates, unless again it was cut out, weren't telling her like, hey, move, block.
Run. Just run. Just keep going in a circle. Run.
She's blind.
She got no help. No help.
Yeah.
Honestly, what they should have been doing, they should have been yelling to try to make noise so it was harder to hear the bells. At least a little bit.
I agree. I mean, there was just really nothing from, honestly, the other side too. Derek had almost all of his popped, and somebody, I don't remember who, was like, Corey's out, like he's out. And Rachel was like, no, there's some on the front. But she said it casually, like, why aren't you yelling to Derek the front, the stomach, the chest? Like, I just don't understand. There was like no maybe they weren't allowed to because of the squeaky shoes and the bells.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going with that. Also, shout out production for watching lots of TikTok videos with these people who I think are in like China or Japan that have chicken on their feet that are trying to walk around the room all quiet and not get slapped with sticks, which has been great TikTok trends that I've seen from one company who just does great stuff. And I'm like, these people are insane. They're just getting slapped with sticks, like kendo sticks and shit. I'm like, that's gotta hurt. But poor Avery, like, I thank God they gave her like a real face mask because she was just getting lit the fuck up. I was waiting for somebody to step in and be like, all right, we're done here. We are done here.
She got her shit rocked.
Please stop. This is too hard to watch. Again, stop. She's already dead.
Yeah. And then we got a shot of Avery talking about what she was going to do with the money. I already had a feeling she was out, but that just solidified it, as we all know. That is the little nugget that we get when we know people are out. It was hard to see her go. I love you, Avery. But we do love watching you leave, and all of the slow-mo ass shots that we got of you in the arena are collectively becoming this week's.
Oh, what a great thing to do on our way out!
Ass of the week. Ass of the week. Of the week.
Oh, that's so nice of you, Mix, to do that for her. That's so lovely.
We love her.
I mean,
there was a lot of good shots of ass throughout the episode, but there wasn't anything that was like really in my face. So I felt like Avery deserved it. We got a lot of slow-mo ass jiggles throughout the arena. She put in her all as best as she could. She had to protect the moneymaker. We got to respect that. Adam, you get your girl back. Congratulations. Another W for Adam.
Have a master class, please, sir. Like, teach a master class, please. Like,
he should.
We gotta know, like, what, how? There are many of us that would pay lots of money for your class, so please let us know. Get back to us. The only thing that I was concerned about, I felt like one of the strategies here from Avery might have been, hey, I'm gonna let you keep teeing off on the front, but I know on the back I have at least 4, so I'm never gonna turn around. I'm gonna keep at least 4 as long as possible. And not try to run anywhere. You can keep hitting me and whatever, but I'm going to protect the back. And then what happened was she was like, I'm getting my shit rocked. I'm going to try to run away. And at that point, it was too late.
Yeah.
At that point, she was already dazed and confused.
But I mean, she didn't even try to block. That was the thing that was crazy to me. Like, if you're going to stand, at least try to block it. You can see her gloves. Like, you could try to block this shit. I don't know. Maybe she just was like done at that point. You get clocked in the face by Rachel like twice. I'd be like, whatever.
Oh, they had that like fake blood edit, and I was like, that might have been real, but they might have been like, oh, this was fake.
Yeah.
Nobody had any bleeding. Don't worry about it. I did feel really bad for it. Derek can't fucking move.
Like, the Derek and the Corey one, I honestly think that whole thing is probably going to go down in the history books. It was a very good fight for Derek to have been able to hit all of his targets on one leg, and it come down to the time. I mean,
bizarre.
It would have been fucking beautiful if he beat Corey, but
can you imagine? I think
that's why he was so disappointed too when it was announced that he lost. He even said, he's like, I wanted to like shock everyone, and he was right there, man.
It would have shocked me, but also it would not have. Like, he's done so many things where I'm just like, whatever. We do have an interview opportunity. We've requested it. They've given us the time, but as we're recording this, we do not know if it's going to happen. So if you're looking at the ticker and you go, oh, it looks like there's another 20 minutes, we've got it. What I'd be really interested to ask him is like, how actually fucked up was his knee? Mm-hmm. Did they come to you at any point and say, hey, we think you should leave? And you basically told them to jump in a river, shit, and die. Because I think that's what happened. I think they said, your knee's pretty fucked up. And he goes, I don't care. Like, I'm not leaving this season unless my leg falls off. He's like, I tore an ACL, MCL, and I'm just going to limp around and do what I can for as long as possible, which is what I think happened. But it was very impressive to watch like him like try to move around the ring, and at first it wasn't working, and then all of a sudden he gave him an opportunity. He just fucking went to town. The drag move was the move. Like just getting your arm on there and then like pulling the
Yep.
stuff down seemed to be the getting all the garlic cloves open, and getting some fresh garlic that you want to mince up real nicely. But I want to ask, what
Okay.
would be worse, Mixie? Losing the elimination and getting sent home, or not getting tickets to the world premiere of Sad/Badiator 2?
It's funny. I had the same thing written down. I think that's why Derek was so upset. He can't go to Badiator 2. And I know that these tickets are real and that they're definitely going to be going to see that movie. So, and I know Derek knows that too. So I'm sure that he's very upset. That was the blow that really brought him to his knees, I think, was not leaving, not being removed from the show, not losing in the elimination. It was not receiving a ticket. And I like that Mr. TJ was like, I'm going. As if it's real. That was cute. Really, really wanted to sell it.
I'm looking to see right now when Badiator 2...
They said November.
Okay, November 21st is the day it's available in theaters.
Is that
So
Thanksgiving?
it's the week of Thanksgiving, yes, which is the Thursday before Thanksgiving, I think.
Okay.
Or is it actual Thanksgiving this year? Stand by while we look at calendars. No, it's the week before Thanksgiving.
Well, I can't wait. I wait with bated breath. We'll probably still be on this show at the time, so we'll be
1,000%.
keeping up on if they went to Badiator 2 or not. I'm going to take a
1,000%.
stab in the dark and say that they didn't.
So who got Rachel gets to go? And
Rachel
Corey
gets a
to go?
+1, and Corey gets a +1.
Now Corey's local, so if Badiator 2 premieres here,
They're not going. Steven. This whole thing is made up. It's not happening. Not a
are you
chance.
saying they're making stuff up? How dare you with your lies and misinformation?
I'm just...
How dare you?
Let the record reflect that no one went to Snatch and Shoes, okay?
That was
And that was
probably
a
the
whole
funniest thing.
team that won.
That was
the
a whole
ability-
team. There was way more people who could have gone to Snatch and
Way
Shoes.
more of a possibility of them being at Snatch and Shoes, but didn't happen. So I don't feel confident in it.
Fucking Snatch and Shoes, man. What a great moment Snatch and Shoes was. God
They
damn
tried to
that was
recreate
good.
it with Badiator 2, and it just didn't hit the same. But
Just it fell
they
flat
still-
because it's not Snatch and Shoes. It's just
You're
not.
right.
It doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
I agree. We have Rachel is now the only target for Era 1. Everybody's kind of like, I thought things were going to change. I agree. What is the game plan here?
Well, things did change. Era 4 got picked first. I'm like, thank God, finally. About fucking time.
That is true. That did happen.
Why weren't we doing this every other week? We switched this way, that way, this way, that way. We pull random names out of Mr. TJ's like sack of names, you know?
Yeah. But, I was upset with the Josh didn't get picked. I don't know why Kylan offered. Wasn't Kylan the target like 2 weeks ago? I just don't really understand
I was like,
that.
wasn't he just the target? Unless he's
Yeah.
like, the only thing I can think of is he knows there's more airtime if he's the target. So he's like, oh, it's worth the risk.
Honestly,
I mean, he was in against Jarrell. He was literally in the week before, and he volunteered.
That's what I'm saying. Like but I actually think that you cracked it. I think it's for airtime.
Who would have been the other option? Who should be next in that rotation? Theo, right?
No, Theo
No.
was just
Sorry.
the target. He just
He's
won.
just there.
I don't know who else is on the team. Josh, Kylan,
that bad.
Theo. Is that it?
So it should have been Josh. Yeah, it should have been Josh.
Yeah. Classic Josh. Especially because they were like, now like Devin and that whole crew is questioning them. I don't understand. And Greaseback Bumbabe took it, so you guys could have easily gotten that whole situation taken care of in one fell swoop. But whatever, Kylan.
Okay, so I'm thinking they knew Devin was going to take it this time, and he told Josh, "Hey, don't volunteer because then it's technically it would be me, you, and whoever else in Era 2 ends up getting it at this point. So like we need to keep this vacation alliance thing as many people as possible because that is our goal. So he's like, I'm not going to do it. That seems to be like what the game plan might be going forward is now we're going to build this alliance across both teams and start getting everybody else out.
I could see Kylan once Ryan. Well, no, Kylan was first.
They were first, right?
That doesn't really make
Josh
any
is
sense.
like, somehow Kylan figured it out. I don't know. We're speculating at this point, but it seemed strange, and more likely it was because there's more airtime available. Let's stick with that theory.
I would think that at this point Rachel would get put on Era too.
I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking they're gonna like envelop her into another team, but you think that would have happened already?
Yeah, because I mean, she was still on the show when Era 2 was she was on those shows as well.
That. They have to do.
I
that.
would think so too, but I'm not really
But
following.
they said she's a target.
Yeah, it's and like what happens when when she inevitably loses, and then what? The guys just get to not go, or whoever gets voted in is automatically kicked. Like that sucks.
Oh yeah. What happens like if Era 1 loses? There's no guy.
One person on Era 1.
Here's what really probably happened, guys. They were like, production was like, let's not try to think up what we're going to do here to change the rest of our show for the rest of the year, because there's a chance maybe Rachel and Derek both leave and we don't have to come up with any plans.
Yes.
And that didn't work because Avery got her fucking clock cleaned, and they're like, it's late. Let's just all go to bed and we'll figure it out in the morning before the daily.
Now that's how I produce and direct.
Let's give everyone the day off tomorrow. Let's have a little production meeting and figure out how the fuck we're going to figure this out going forward. That's probably what happened. Because I remember, who was it sitting there? Oh yeah, Rachel said it was like, oh, I thought we were gonna change it. And he's like, me too. And production's like, yeah, Era 4, how about you go first?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That seems like a good idea. We're just gonna have a meeting tomorrow. We'll figure all this fucking shit out. Everybody go home.